Hey. All right. So a lot of you guys are asking how to do this, how to do the photo editing, and I really want you guys to do it because it's pretty easy to do and anybody can do it. Honestly, you just have to have a smartphone or a tablet. Um, for me, it's a lot easier to use a stylus, so the Note 10 I would recommend if you got it. But if you got like the Note 20 or the S20 or the S21, those are really good for taking pictures. Any of the notes with the styluses are good. Anything that can take a decent picture. Um, but yeah, basically what I'm gonna do today is I'm just gonna show you. It's. I want you guys to sit down. If you guys really want to learn how to do this, I can show you. But it's not. I can't crank this out in 2 minutes. It's gonna be at least a 10 minutes tutorial. Um, but it's anybody can do this. It's easy. I'm not a rocket scientist. It didn't take me long to figure this out. So if you guys want to do it, you guys can definitely catch on pretty quick. But basically what I do is you find something that you want to incorporate your face into. I got a lot of pictures. I found these ones, which I haven't got a chance to do any, but these ones are really easy to do because they're very basic pictures. These are pictures that you could take on your phone. He probably took it on his phone too. He probably used the same app for all I know. But the lighting's easy to replicate. Everything. It's not too much lighting, not too cinematic. So essentially what I do with the Note 10, which makes it easier for me, but you don't have to do this. All you have to do is replicate the same lighting and angle of the guy's face and same shadowing. For me, I just select a little thing, I pin it to the screen, and I go into the camera. Yep, go right here. So he's got a little bit more shadowing on one side, which, the closer you can get it, the better. But, yep. I think that's pretty close. Yeah, that's not bad. I can always turn my head down a little bit. Pretty spot on in my opinion. I think we can replicate that. So you go into PicsArt. Disregard this one. Back. Okay, all photos. We're gonna close this out now. So first off, I forgot to mention this. You want to have two apps. They're both free. They're on the Play Store. You want a photo room and you want PicsArt. Now first, you go into photo room after you take your picture. Select your guy and it's gonna cut out the background. Foop. That's all you need. Makes it easier. Then you go to the bottom, click on background, click on the erase button, boop, erase, and then you go to the top right corner, boop, hit the download button, go to the bottom, click on save to gallery, boop. Okay, now we're done with that. We have the background cut out. Then we're going to go to PicsArt, click on that, and I'm going to put this up in the corner here. We're going to, let's see, go to the top left corner, go to gallery. I should always be doing that. We're going to find the guy. There he is. Boop. There he is. Him holding Miko, I think his name, the raccoon. Go to the bottom corner, bottom panel. Scroll over if you have to the left. Click on add photo. Find your photo. This is the one. Make sure it has the background cut out. Click on the top right corner, hit add. Okay, this should come out pretty good. This is pretty spot on. He's a little bit more tan, so I put my face right next to his, and I make some adjustments. So go to the adjustments in the bottom corner. I will bring the brightness down a smidge. Go all the way over. Go to temp. Add a little bit of a tempy temp. That's pretty good. We're going to bring the contrast. Now bring the highlights down a little bit. Yep. That's pretty good. That should work just fine. Go to the top right corner, hit the check mark. All right, we're gonna want to zoom it. You can pinch to zoom, by the way. This is how I do it. Pinch, and zooms. Pinch, zoom. Get it to where you want. Now I'm gonna take two of my fingers like this, and I just move the original picture around with my two thumbs until I get where I think it's probably close. And then I go to the bottom thing where it says opacity, bring that down to about 50%. You want to line your eyes and your nose and your eyebrows up with his, and preferably you want your cheek more out than his. This should work. You want your forehead to be right on line with his. Just the edge line to be right on par. And the eyebrow, that seems pretty much probably 100%. Yeah, that's pretty close. Now, see, the issue I'm dealing with is my eye is going to look a little bit funny. So we're going to try doing it this way. See, I just kind of want to make sure it looks realistic. This is just acquired skill, I guess you'd say. I'm really not trying to boast. I've done a lot where it looked kind of funny. You can see in my earlier pictures where I was starting to learn how to do this. Take your time. Take your time. I mean, that's pretty close. I'm thinking maybe right about here. Should be pretty realistic. We'll try that and see how that works. Now, this is where you just take your time. When you go to a race, you're going to have to learn about the hardness and opacity because in some cases you'll need to absolutely make adjustments, especially if you're blending in your face. When I get pretty close to blending in, I will lower the opacity quite a bit, and I might even lower the hardness to really feather it in. But this is essentially how you do it. You just blend it right in. Pretty easy to do. I think I'm going to keep his chin. I'm guessing, yeah. I might have to go back to my chin. Sometimes you'll decide that you want to keep your chin instead of his if it doesn't look realistic. Again, I'm doing the pinching, pull out, pull in, make sure it looks nice and realistic. Yup. Problem is the picture that I'm working with on his is very low quality. So the higher quality the pictures you're working with, the better end result is going to be. Now, I am noticing some issues. Again, I can't stress enough, when you take the original picture, the closer you can get it to replicating the lighting and shadowing, the better the end result's going to be, and the less work you're going to have to be making adjustments on and making layers. I have to make layers because this didn't come out 100%. It's pretty close. I mean, that right there is almost doable. Like, you could just leave that and call it good if you want. And then, that took me 8 minutes to do all that and to talk. You could really crank it out in 5. And that looks pretty good. Some people might not even question that. But personally, I feel like I had too much lighting going on. His was a little bit darker. It's pretty close. And I don't like how, I don't know, it's just something I don't like about it. I don't know. You know what? It's not bad. I'm just going to leave it like this. I don't want to drag this video out. Well, no, I do want to drag it out a little bit more. What you want to do is you want to go to the top corner, hit duplicate. You're going to have to learn to work with layers. See, I am also noticing that there's a lot I didn't erase. So we're going to have to go back in here. Now you can bring the hardness all the way to 100. We're going to get rid of all this extra stuff on the side here. All around the side of the head and the face. Clean that up a bit. Get rid of all that. Yep. That's pretty good. Hit the check mark. Go back to this one. Off to the side, pinch and zoom. Not in the square, because if you hit the square, you're going to mess it up. But pinch outside the square. Pinch like this. Pull out. Yep. Pinch. Pull out. That'll zoom in, but don't do it inside the square because you'll zoom in the square. Now, it will crosshair the thing and line it up perfectly with the first layer. That's what you want, because what I'm going to be doing is darkening a little bit. I will be darkening. So you're going to go to the bottom thing, hit adjust, bring the brightness down just a smidge. That looks pretty good. That's not bad. We'll go at 26, see how that looks. See, that looks a lot better. A lot better. Hit the check mark. And sometimes you'll notice that his forehead's a little bit lighter than yours, while your cheek's a little bit darker. That's where it's good to have layers, because you can just you can erase some. You can have part of you light and part of you dark. This is gonna be pretty good, I think. So I'm bringing the opacity down pretty low because I'm just slowly gonna fade in some stuff. We're gonna bring a lot back and forth, a lot of back and forth. Yep, I like that. It looks pretty good. Okay, and to erase the edge, you want this around 93-ish. That's usually the safe spot. 94 might be fine. Bring the opacity to 100%. And this is where you cut out. You make cut out. And again, it's gonna be easier to do with your with a stylus than using your finger. But yep, this is essentially that's it. I think that looks pretty spot on. I don't know about you guys. I'm impressed with it. I think it looks pretty good. That could be me. You never know. Hey, so that's it right there. That's a 12-minute tutorial. Just some quick pointers. Hit the check mark. Learn, before you do any of this, learn all your tools. Learn about making adjustments. Learn about adjusting brightness, contrast. Learn where everything is. Learn the add photo button. That's how I add the layers. Because you can, again, I could replicate this and do this. I could do this again too. This won't come out very good because again, if the angle is not on point, it's not going to look realistic. My head is turned too much straight, where his is too much sideways. And even if I put my head, if I put my head to the side, it's not going to look realistic. You want to replicate this as much as you can. The same angle, the same lighting. You can do that sometimes by putting your hand over your face before you take a picture. You can go into a darker room, get a light. See what I'm doing right here? Put my hand over here, add some shadowing. You put a blanket up if you have to, darken a little bit. You just want to replicate your picture to theirs as much as you can. And then you can go in afterwards and make adjustments. Really learn about a temp, because a lot of times people in pictures are a lot more tan because they live down south and we're in Maine and we're pale. So learn how to work with the thing, but don't overkill it. That's overkill. But just like a little bit, that looks pretty good. Play around with it. Sometimes too much contrast is weird. You'll figure it out. And it's very easy to overcorrect. I'll be like, oh, I want to look more tan. And then I come out with this. And then afterwards I do like an hour long project. And then something doesn't look right. It's because I overcorrected. So just slight adjustment sometimes is all you need. And then start slight, and you can always go back and add more. Save it right there. You're like, maybe I do need to bring it down a little bit more. Bring the brightness down a little bit. Just some slight adjustments. And then you can hit the top button and erase it in. This isn't going to look realistic, like I said. And again, this would require a lot more darkening and whatnot. But yeah, essentially this is how I do it and how you guys can do it. I know I probably bored the crap out of you guys. I was never keen on making tutorials. But yep, essentially that is how you do it. Any questions? Leave it in the comments, I guess. All right. Yeah, I really hope you guys actually get on board with this, because I feel like I'm the only one doing this. And it's kind of stupid. I think all you guys could do this. You all got the nice Note 20s and stuff, so get out there and get it done. Yep. All right. talk to you guys later.